Everyone wants to live an inspired life, yet so many people search for happiness following the footsteps of peers and taking advice from people who have different values and outcomes to which they're searching. There are people born into wealth, graduated from the best universities in the world, and there are people who have none of that and yet are living extraordinary lives full of fulfillment and reward. The purpose of this podcast is to share insights and strategies that allow you to question the status quo and think freely, so you can design your life and be who you want to be. We get one life. Time is our most valuable asset. I believe that when we're free and able to focus on meaningful work, we become better human beings. This is always free, and I'm your host, Jason Graystone.
Welcome to the leading podcast for financial empowerment and wealth creation. Subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. You can connect with Jason on social media and subscribe to the Jason Graystone YouTube channel for weekly videos. Don't forget to also subscribe to the weekly newsletter to receive frequent educational content and action steps to help you design your life so you can be who you want to be. For news on all future events and updates, go to jasongraystone.com.
Well, welcome back to the podcast, guys. If this is your first time listening, this is the #1 podcast for financial empowerment and wealth creation. And if this is the first episode you've ever listened to, go back to the beginning and start at #1. You won't regret it. In this particular episode, we're in for a real treat because I've shared in the past strategies on how to grow social following, and in my program I teach how I grew from 0 to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube in a very efficient manner. And it's one thing coming from me, but it's another thing to come from a viral YouTuber who's a very good friend of mine, Faze Kay. Now, I've been working with Faze Kay and his family for over a year now on their own personal finance and wealth creation, and if there's one thing I've seen, it is some tremendous insights into YouTube. He's grown almost 8 million followers or subscribers on his YouTube channels. On his personal channel, he's got 5 million subscribers. He's part of a clan that's got collectively over 100 million followers. He's getting 40 million views on his videos per month, and he's reached over 1 billion views total across all of his videos on his channel, and he's generating millions and millions in ad revenue each and every year. So when it comes to YouTube and insights and analytics and strategies, there's not much that he doesn't know, and he's been doing it a long time now. He's going to be sharing with you all the tips and tricks that he's learned. If you're new to YouTube, he's going to give you some phenomenal insights that are going to give you an edge in your YouTube game. So it's a pleasure to introduce a great friend, Faze Kay. Fraser, thanks for coming on, mate. And although me and Fraser have been kind of working together over the last year or so, I've been working with Fraser on his own personal finance journey. Tell us a little bit about your journey so far with a YouTube, Fraser. How did you start and everything?
Yeah, so definitely. YouTube's been a crazy journey. For me personally, it started back in 2010. I was a big gamer again. I was 14 years old actually back then. Just didn't know anything about like business or vision or really where I wanted to take myself, or even that YouTube was where I was going to be in the next 10 years. But yeah, I was just a gamer playing COD, having fun making videos, and saw like this massive spike in interest in individual communities on YouTube, where like a bunch of people, for example, on Call of Duty would come together and make these gaming content videos that would get uploaded. And just because a third-party game outside YouTube was so popular, this community sparked online, and millions of kids that played this game just like were on this, all on YouTube watching these things. It was really interesting. It was like, wow, all of these people are just watching this one game on this one app. And it's like, is this really like how the world is going to be? Like everyone's just coming on YouTube now. A few years go into it. It's growing. It's kind of way more exponential. And I see this thing called Faze Clan, and it's like the biggest team out of all of them. Like nobody's better than this. If you can achieve this, it's like the #1 goal. It's like winning the X Factor. You know what I'm trying to say? Like something like that. Like you've worked so far and you finally made it. And Faze was like that goal for me, and people that were in Faze were getting way more views than everybody else. It's just kind of like the goal. So I worked really hard towards that, and actually ended up joining Faze Clan in 2013. And then since then, that's when I really sat down and like thought, all right, so all these people are on YouTube. YouTube now is offering monetization systems. Let's just really see how far we can take it. And since then, I've just been, as you can see on my YouTube channel, just doing all different types of content and things to evolve and taking me to where I am now, which is nuts.
Amazing. So I've obviously know you personally, and I've seen the kind of analytics that you look at and how you think about your creation of videos. And I know you're very, very switched on, that you've got a lot of insights there. Just before we get into all that stuff, talk about the early years, because some of the questions we get are around how you deal with negative comments and haters and all that in the early years. What were the early years like for you? Because that must have been tough, putting on that character in the camera, right? Tell us about that.
No, 100%. So there's all kinds of haters, and in my opinion, so a lot of people will be specifically referring to like haters you see in comments and stuff like that, which for some people is a really big deal. Some people it's not. I was always, I have a lot of respect for my mom in the sense of teaching me, in my early stages of YouTube, she said to me, there's this one thing where it was like, Fraser, I brought up a negative comment to her. She was like, Fraser, look, 100 people are shaking your hand in the day, metaphorically speaking, shaking your hand. One person comes up and slaps you. Unfortunately, that's the one thing you remember, but 100 people love you. So, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to let that one little slap ruin all these 100 handshakes. So I just kept that perspective and mindset since the early days of YouTube, and really didn't change much at all.
Cool.
And that really developed like just haters online really aren't a thing, because I know that if I'm enjoying it, thousands of other people are going to be enjoying it, millions, but then maybe a few won't, but it doesn't really matter, honestly.
Yeah, right. And you've got to expect that some people just don't like that stuff, right? And
and
then there's the people. Yeah. Then there's the people that go out of their way to not like it and tell you that they don't like it, right?
Yeah, they're the bad ones.
So you mentioned your brother. You and your brother have now kind of blown up on YouTube, and you're doing phenomenally well. I mean, we're talking some kind of astronomical figures on a monthly revenue basis for kids, especially Jarvis's age, but you as well. Doing phenomenally well. And what that really relates to is views, right? And how many people are watching your views to get 40 million views on your channel. But you had to start somewhere. You didn't start at 40 million views. So tell us what in the early days, let's just say that no one knew who you was now, right? And you was going to start a YouTube channel, knowing everything that you know now, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about kind of what you would be looking in terms of the actual studio inside YouTube and how to put the videos on. Would you be paying attention to a certain thumbnail, description, research?
Yeah, definitely.
What works?
So yeah, I mean, if I was a brand new YouTuber, I was making a YouTube channel and I had an idea for a really dope video I wanted to make, first of all, I would go and, because nowadays it's very hard to come up with a completely original idea. So chances are someone's already done this thing I've thought of. So I'd go look up on YouTube and I'd see somebody maybe that's done this. And, I'd be like, oh, wow, my idea is way better, or they did it way better than me. I didn't think of that. And, you compare both, see what you can do better. And then I would just go and make sure that the content was A1, because nowadays on YouTube, especially with everybody, everybody's got a lot of time. People only want to watch what's worth watching. So to definitely focus on the content you're making and just to make sure that this video is something you would want to watch. But that's all before you would even sit on YouTube, where you would have to come and sit up with the title and the thumbnail of the video.
How do you go about descriptions, and tell us about tags and all that kind of stuff? Anything that you think works or we should be paying attention to as a brand new YouTuber?
Yeah, so definitely the three main aspects I would say if you're a brand new YouTuber would be, because they all play on like a scale. So for example, if the content's great but the title and thumbnail is not great, it's really going to bring everything down. So it's all going to be a balance. One can really, like, you can have a great video but a bad title and thumbnail, no one's going to click and watch your amazing video. So to definitely just focus on keyword titles maximum maybe 50 characters as a cap is a good thing to go by to start off. You obviously can go up above that, but then thumbnails too. You know, you can go and compare. Like for example, this is what I do. Like if you have a thumbnail, and you've made a video, just literally go and stick your thumbnail next to all the other ones that have made something similar to you, and be like, oh, mine looks better or mine looks bad. Like it's
See what one pops like the most.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
oh, does mine pop or does it not? And then change accordingly. And that's just literally how I do it, because that's where your video is going to be, where the people are choosing it from.
Yeah.
So you might as well, so you just put it straight up there.
Is there any tips in terms of positioning on the thumbnail? Because I know there's sometimes like there's a time.
Everyone does their thumbnails differently. Particularly, I split my thumbnails into thirds. There'll be one part here, like a face, and then two parts in the middle. I try not to split it into too much because again, a thumbnail is something you look at for like 2 seconds. Like your brain's made your mind up probably within the first second whether you want to click on that or not. So you really don't have too much time to add all this detail. So just a quick, bold overview of what's going to happen, maybe an exciting point, is definitely the best way to go.
Okay. And what about tags?
Tags. Yeah, I do use tags. Tags are good for people that want to search your name. Like the most used tags, obviously for me, are just people searching Faze Kay, or maybe people even misspelling my name. That's where tags come in handy to help them lead directly towards my channel. But in the general outlook of things, tags would only contribute to about 3 to 5% of total views. So it's not that important, but definitely is a factor as well.
Okay. And what about length of time of video? Is there an optimum time?
It all depends on the type of content. For example, if there's a podcast, somebody could want to listen to that for 30 minutes. But me personally, it's all again based on what you are doing, your personal content. But for me, mine is 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
You know, I try and keep my viewers there for about 7 to 8 minutes per video, or like that's the goal. But yeah, that's how I base myself personally.
Yeah.
But again,
and that's quite a high retention, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a very high retention. But there's other YouTubers, for example, David Dobrik, who has a style of 4 minutes 20 seconds every single video. So it's just, you know, different styles work for different channels. But yeah, that's just mine.
And how often do you post? You post like 5 or 6 videos a week, right?
Yeah. So I run multiple channels, but my main channel right now we post 3 videos a week, and then the second one we post 7. And then Jarvis is also doing his 3 as well.
And is it important to do more, or is it just consistency that matters most?
Yeah, I would say consistency. So it's based on expectation. For example, my subscribers expect 3 videos a week, but your subscribers could expect 1 insane video a month, or 5 videos a day. I don't know. It all depends on what you want to do. You could be making content that actually takes a month to make, or that you can make 5 of in a day. So it's just based on that, I'd say.
Okay. When I last saw you, you was talking about the algorithm, YouTube algorithm, and how you would put out a video and then monitor the algorithm. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what you're looking for?
No, yeah, definitely. So when I put out a video, immediately I'd be looking at the most important factors, which would be how long they're watching my video for and how many people are clicking on my thumbnail, the CTR, the click-through rate. So if I put out a video and the click-through rate is really low, and people aren't clicking on it, then I know that people literally aren't clicking on my video. So I have to do something to change the click, like the thumbnail, the title. So that's something I work on. But if, again, the retention is low, then then there's nothing really I can do. At that point, it's just like, it's a learning curve. And I just know for the next video now that people didn't want to watch this for that long or just watch me do that. So I'll just learn trial and error and just continue to move forward and make another one.
So if retention is low, it's obviously just a shit video, right?
Exactly.
And if it's not being clicked through, it's your thumbnail title. You jump on that and change that, do you? You like play around?
I'll be monitoring that instantly.
Amazing, great insights. So what do you do if you're onto something? Do you just match, try and do as many the same or the same style or the same title kind of?
Yeah, no, definitely. So what I would try and do sometimes is maybe run a series or incorporate a storyline into a video. For example, I did a storyline recently where we've moved into Justin Bieber's house and we were finding old parts of his his belongings. And I made one of these videos and they really loved it. So I created a story and then made another part and another part, which just leads on. So again,
Like a series.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it was the same, but it was different in each thing. So which is what I think is important.
Awesome. Okay, so when you talk about analytics, what tools do you use or apps do you use? Because I know there's TubeBuddy and there's Social Blade. What kind of things do you use to look at your analytics?
So in terms of third party, I would mainly use Social Blade to check my like day-to-day stats, which is Social Blade's pretty accurate. But then mainly just the YouTube Studio, because you can really now dive deep into your analytics and especially a day or two after you posted a video and it's fully had time to count everything. The level of analytics YouTube offer now are really, really, really good. Everybody has access to the same analytics. It's just taking the time to really learn, because I didn't understand what all this meant. You just got to learn what these things mean so you can take the best approach to your content.
Cool. So is there anything that they should be looking for in particular on those analytics? Just click rate, retention.
Yeah, the click rate, the retention, and like the watch time and how many subscribers you're getting. Like just the growth in general. Like are your videos growing? Is your channel growing? Are people clicking on you more? And if so, then just continue to do what you're doing.
Awesome. In terms of compounding growth, where did you start to see, just on your journey, bearing in mind you've been doing this for what, 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years. Where did you start to see the kind of exponential growth? Where did it start to turn for you in that 10-year period? Because numbers are quite easy to intend.
Yeah, no, definitely. So not the first, like not even for the past 3 years really is where it's been actually exponential. When I moved to America, I was in England, and I felt like, because I wasn't surrounded by a lot of people the same as me, it was hard personally to grow in that area, living in my hometown. So as soon as I moved to America and I was surrounded by a lot of like-minded people, it was when I really started to see the exponential growth in my channel. Surrounded by YouTubers, people that I just wanted to be like, and then finding out that people really enjoy watching me and my brother, and then the growth coming from that and him joining Faze it just took it way to the top.
Incredible. And how do you, in terms of, so you're around like-minded people, which makes you more creative, right? And it makes you just in your game 100% all the time. What tips do you have around creativity? Do you set time aside to get creative on ideas?
No,
how do you do
creativity. That? Yeah, it's definitely one of the most important things with this job, because again, it's not a job in my opinion. It's not something someone can go and tell you what to do tomorrow or the next day. You have to think up what you want to do in the next 5 years. You have to literally imagine it. So I dedicate days specifically to being creative. We've actually just purchased a hot tub because I've been doing research that creative hot tub sessions are apparently way more effective than just normal hot creative sessions. So that's the extent that we really are going to like. We will sit and there'll be like 4 or 5 of us, and we'll just be chatting, trying to come up most naturally with these ideas. And all of my ideas recently just come up with me and my friends sitting in a group or in a circle, just bouncing off each other, getting crazier and crazier and crazier until we take it really to the limit of what we can do with our content. So, but yeah, the dedicating time to being creative is a very key thing.
Excellent. Just one thing I skipped past was you mentioned Social Blade, but have you used TubeBuddy? Do you recommend using TubeBuddy or anything like that?
I personally haven't, but I know everybody is different, and some apps offer other insights that others don't. I specifically am not sure about TubeBuddy, but
okay.
I just use the YouTube Studio app for me.
Awesome. Okay, and maybe we'll put some screenshots below. Maybe Fraser will send us some screenshots, and I'll put some arrows on what he looks at in terms of analytics. That'd be cool. Just finally, I just want to kind of two more things. One is, we talk about in this program, we talk about just doing what you want to do, right? Being purpose driven. And I think you'll agree with me when I say that's probably the most important thing, even if you're going to do YouTube, right? It's going to be something that pulls you through, something you get up in the morning and you actually want to do.
Exactly.
Why do you do what you do? Like, why do you love it? Why is this your passion?
Yeah, no, definitely. This is my passion because I mean, for me personally, it started out as gaming, which as any kid is their passion. And originally, because my job has evolved, but I was originally being paid to game in my home in England. So I would game all day. And as a 18-year-old kid, you know, I was living the life. Like, I'm being paid a really good amount of money right now to just game. And then as my passions develop as I get older, I realize I also have a love for making content and just videos. So I just found a passion for that as well as I was a gamer, and just pursued that as much as I love gaming. And again, a big factor is that I enjoy all of this. Like I never feel like really I'm working like I was essentially when I had a job and I was a waiter. Like I never get that feeling of like, oh, I want to be done now, I want to go. Like I don't think you can really have that and be effective.
No. And one thing I've noticed in you is you're particularly good at bringing others up, right? You're always championing the ones that come underneath you, like your brother and the people that are coming through. You're always really, really bigging them up. And I think that's a great character in yourself. Yeah,
definitely. I remember how important that was when people did that to me. So I keep that perspective of if that was me back then, you know, that meant a lot to me when somebody did that. So I hope it has the same meaning.
Amazing. All right, mate. So last thing, if you was to, this is kind of going to put you on the spot, but if there's someone looking to get their first 1,000 followers on YouTube and you had to give them 5 tips, right, to do with anything that we've just discussed, what would their focus be on? What were the 5 things that they need to focus on?
5 things. So first of all, I would look at all the categories on YouTube and figure out, I mean, if you're specifically, you want to be on YouTube, you got to figure out what you want to do that's fun. So whether you like sports, I don't know what it is. So me particularly it was gaming. So I'd narrow down the topic that you want to be in. My topic is like gaming/entertainment. Then I would figure out, like there's so many different types of corners in gaming. For example, there's this game, there's that game. So you've really got to narrow down your niche and figure out something that you would want to like pursue for a long time if you want this to be your career or you want to evolve into that. Figure out a corner of the internet maybe that you see or is not done. So again, following that down, and then making sure that you actually have the means to make good content. Like so, nowadays on YouTube, the most viewed channels really are putting a lot of money and production into their videos. So you would kind of have to. It's annoying as being a new YouTuber. You kind of have to be on that level, kind of. You know, have a good camera. Make sure your quality and your production is there, because again, you can't make a video that someone's gonna be like, this isn't that good, I can just go and watch this instead, which is greatly made. So you have to again hit the standards. Like you have to make sure your standards are high, and you're not, oh, I'm a new guy. People are gonna think, no, I'll give him time off. Like it doesn't work. Like,
okay. In terms of equipment, what cameras? Like, I mean, because I've seen you do it on iPhone 11s and stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Nowadays with the iPhones, this phone here with the 3 cameras in, this is a very, very good camera. And honestly, for a start YouTube channel, if you really wanted to, you could actually use this camera. But I would definitely recommend the G7X. It's a very good handheld compatible camera. Like $300, $400, and that's what I used for my first like 2 million subscribers. So
wow,
everybody can use that, but definitely making sure you have the right equipment, and then using that equipment to focus on your content and just trying to make videos that you want to watch and like that you want your fans to sit through and enjoy all of.
Finally, what about engagement?
So I would definitely like engagement is a thing you want to try and encourage, but then again, for me personally, I prefer my viewers. I try and increase them to watch the video for longer. So some people want to try and get likes on their posts and stuff. Me personally, I don't mind if my viewers can start my video at 0 minutes and finish it at 8 minutes or 10 minutes. That's great. I feel like engagement is a variable thing.
Yeah, I get it. So, I mean, it's not sustainable to reply to 5 million.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if someone has like a million views on a video, but that video has 100,000 likes and that video has 1,000, like the engagement, in my opinion, doesn't affect the video because they might have enjoyed this one for longer or something like that.
Awesome, mate. This has been absolutely invaluable, and I just want to thank you for coming on again. and it's been great talking to you, mate. I look forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks when you can actually fly back here.
Yes, same. So do I.
Yeah, mate. Awesome. Thanks for coming on, and I'll catch you soon.
Definitely, it's been great. Thank you, Jason.